Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show, obviously episode 145. Quite a fair bit to get into this. Obviously a bit of breaking news come out about an hour before we're on here. Obviously the Chelsea reaction, and then obviously the window's open. So what are our other, priorities, in this window? Because we've already done a bit of business, which we all knew we would do, but obviously we'll get a bit more into it later. Like always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Well, you know I am, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
We had unfortunately we had a family bereavement on New Year's Eve, and that's why my lights are purple. Yeah, that's all you need to know. So we'll be okay, and we're just going to keep this professional. So just want to say R.I.P. to my cousin Jade and your cousin.
Yeah, no, absolutely. R.I.P. It's not great to hear. Especially right before New Year's Eve. Yeah, New Year's. The midnight. Sorry. Obviously it was awful. It was absolutely terrible. So, yeah, no, absolutely. But big up to everyone that's been inside, waiting, and all of that. But yeah, let's get into it. So obviously Chelsea took on Chelsea. We felt going into it, if there was a time to beat them, it was now. Lucky enough, I was thinking it in my head, but I didn't say it when we done the preview with Hanno and Goonie. Again, shout out to them both for coming on. I said, surely this time we're not going to concede 3 to Chelsea. Every time we played Chelsea recently, we conceded 3. Obviously, the FA Cup, the 3-1 defeat, the 3-2 defeat at home, and then obviously the 3-0 earlier on in the season. But yeah, no, absolutely. But we did concede 3. And it was the first half that let us down. But obviously, before we get into that, I'll go through the lineup. Kaminsky in goal, back three of Menji, Osho, Kabore on the right, Doughty on the left, Lokonga and Barkley in the middle, Townsend, Brown, and Elijah. So I think, excuse me, that was exactly what I said. The only thing I was maybe flickering between was Brown, Chio in for Brown. But other than that, I'm pretty sure it's what I said. Or there might be one player there. And then the bench was Anderson, Chong, Clark, Giles, Krul, Morris, Ruddock, Chio, and Woodrow. So good options when it comes to attacking. And yeah, there was no complaints really with that lineup. I did want Kabore to start. I don't feel he was good in this game. Yeah, again. But, at the time, he's our only right wing back. It felt it was right to put him back in, really. Like I say, other than that, is exactly what I expected. Your thoughts on that lineup when you saw it, Dad?
Yeah, as you said, pretty much expected. And that's it, really. It's pretty the team that's been playing well. I think I might have even got that spot on as well, actually, to be honest with you. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we agreed, to be honest, with that lineup. Because I remember you saying you're not even going to get yours up. So I'm pretty sure it's exactly what we said, when it comes to the actual lineup that it was. But moving into the first half, absolutely terrible, man. I was so disappointed with the first half. You look at the Man City first half, for example, are a much better team than Chelsea, at this current moment in time. Treble winners, just won the Club World Cup, make it up what you will. Again, I think it's a decent competition. I just don't like when they do it, during the season. But yeah, obviously, they won that. And then obviously, you look at just how we were, we were going at Man City, but this game, we were awful. Even Arsenal, in the first half, we were going at them. We were showing that we can compete and, have opportunities at them. And that sort of thing. But it's just really disappointing for me. Obviously, Chelsea were on the front foot quite a bit, but that's because we let them. We let them. We weren't getting in their faces enough for me. Obviously Palmer scored. Player you said that we got to watch out for going into this one. And I did say it. As much as Chelsea are not in a great, moment right now, their attack can still definitely hurt us. They had Sterling on the bench in this one as well. And I know throughout the whole season for Chelsea, he's not been great. But at the same time, we know what he done to us last time and all of that sort of thing as well. So it was just disappointing. You know, Palmer, like I say, that threat that he can possess. And even in Cuckoo coming back, obviously he didn't start, but still, you know, they got them players to hurt us. And I just felt the way we were gifting them goals in the first half was not good enough. Not good enough. You know, Kabore, people use the excuse, oh, he's just come back. It's not good enough. Get the ball out. What are you doing? I've seen under 10s football better than that. Seriously, no joke. You know, it is mad to me, you know, the amount of, you know, like respect he gets compared to someone like Bell. You know, yes, we know Bell's not good in centre back. You know, we know that. You know, but he's the captain at this moment in time. Put a bit more respect on the name. Kabore is not even our player, and everyone wants to sit here and say he's really good. I can't believe it, mate. It's not been good enough. He's had like 1 or 2 good games this season. You know, Liverpool won, and then you know I thought the Man United one he was okay. You know, Newcastle is all right actually, to be fair as well. But still, like I ain't been impressed with him at all. You know, if I'm going to be honest, throughout the whole season. You know, I remember when people saying, "Oh, your opinion might change," you know, on him. But no, because you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent, and he hasn't been. You know, considering he is a Man City player technically as well, he has been awful. You know, let's just have it right now. But poor goal to give away, wasn't it? Though.
Yeah, the first one. I mean, Menji done well to pass it back to him. He was under pressure, and he should have just hoofed it away. Simple as that. And then, as soon as he realised his mistake, he should have closed Palmer down a bit more to try and block the shot. He didn't really, and it was frustrating. You can't be giving him goals away because other than that, it's what you're saying. But we weren't that they weren't all over us possession wise and attack wise. They were just if you put Palmer's potentially a world class player. We know he's a good player. You give players like that space, you're going to get 100% punished. Like that should have been, and that's I just don't think. For me, I think that he's everyone says that he's had abilities. He got player in a tournament where his country that he's going away with, which might actually help him. He got young player. They've actually done well previously in the AFCON, and he's got young player. So he's obviously got the ability, but I just don't think it's not working out with us. And you can't. If Pelly made that mistake, he'd be getting slaughtered. He did make a mistake like that in the first game against Brighton, didn't he?
Yeah. Similar.
Kabore made a similar mistake. I'm not saying, he made a mistake. It was against Exeter.
Exeter.
There's been, silly challenges and I never feel comfortable when a man's chasing it is on him. I'm more comfortable if Doubt is defending, and it says a lot. We've watched a lot of Luton Town games, a lot of Luton Town players. He's still young. We'll see what happens, but you can't be doing that. It's as simple as that. It's fine margins in the Premier League, and you can't be gifting. It was a good finish, but you gave him that opportunity to do it. So, it wasn't great from that perspective.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It wound me up. Wound me up because, like I say, as much as Chelsea are in the mud, let's be honest, for their standards, the amount of money they've spent, their attack was still deadly. I said that going into it. We got to be wary of it. We said it, me and you, Dad. We're not going to underestimate them. Even though they're in this moment, we know it's going to be a close game. Which again, all right, fair enough. It turned out to be, but the first half was not good enough. It weren't good enough. I've seen us play better against better opposition. Far better opposition. Likes of Man City, Arsenal. That's why I said. I was very disappointed with that first half. But yeah, obviously they got the goal to make it 1-0. And then obviously, I suppose the next talking point is the second goal, I guess. Madueke. Pretty sure he was the one who scored the winner against Palace, the penalty. I might be wrong. I'm going to double check that real quick. Oh no, he was actually, yeah. And, you know, again, great finish, but we've got to be defending it better. You know, let's just be real now. And, I look at it again, obviously on the watch long, Kabore was, nowhere to be seen. So they were already running down that left hand side. Bell and Doughty did have a little bit of a mare, I'll be honest. But again, we know Bell is not a centre back, right? So this goes back to what I'm going to say later on. We need to get a centre back, you know, but I'll get more into that later. But, like I say, good finish, but yeah, bit of a, you know, mare at the back from the three of them. It's not just Kabore there, but it started from his side. So he has to take a bit of the blame. You've got to be honest. So yeah, again, frustrating goal to concede, really. Like I say, great finish. Yet again, Kaminsky couldn't have done anything, but yeah, poor defensively. What did you make of that goal, Dad?
Yeah, it went again. The pass was clever but Kabore was kind of involved, but he was running back. I don't know, but then again, see the danger. Like, could have got in position to block it maybe. At the end, Doughty, he's getting back. I'm not even. He's in that position. Like, he's all over the place. And even but Bell looks. He's not a CDM. He's not. It's not his natural position, so he's not naturally going to be looking to right. I'm going to just go. He won't tackle inside the penalty area. And yeah, it was a good finish. Maybe Kaminsky probably. We generally probably expect him to save that. Maybe. Let's be honest, because of his performances recently, but still, it was hit with such power. It's not a lot we can do. So yeah, frustrating. Not as frustrating as the first goal.
Yeah, not 100%. But yeah, on the first half, the rest of it, we were on the ball. Like you say, we did actually have more possession, which was surprising. Again, obviously, I don't really look into that, but we never had more possession, so it was a bit weird to see, especially against Chelsea. You'd probably expect it, against a lesser side. No disrespect, like Sheffield United or someone like that at home. But we were having, we were getting on the ball, like I say, with more possession, but them balls into the box, we weren't really. We know how good Elijah is, as a presence. You only need to look at the Man City game. You only need to look at the Arsenal game. If you want to base it this season, you know what he can do in the air. And for me, we weren't really trying to, we weren't crossing it in towards him, which we know he's very good at. And we just weren't really, the crosses into the box. Thiago Silva, as much as he's, very, very old, fair play to him, he's still a wicked player. But he was just heading everything away. I feel we could have exploited him a bit more, in that first half as well. Obviously, we did towards the end of the game, and could have made it 3-3. But yeah, we were having them chances, but it wasn't, a lot really in that first half. But yeah, your little thoughts on us for the first half, Dad? Like, what we were causing up for?
Again, yeah, it could have been a lot worse. I guess it was quite bad, but we weren't poor. We wasn't getting pummeled. It was just sort of individual, sort of defensively. We weren't as good as we have been recently, so it was frustrating. And we've been used to going 1-0 up in the last 4 games at half time as well. So, but we know we generally fight back. So I always have that in reserve, if that makes sense. So yeah, well, it is just frustrating.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Moving on to the second half, obviously made some changes. I was calling for it. Felt Kabore had to come off. Pretty sure. No, sorry, no, it's Brown that got the yellow card, wasn't it? I was going to say, because on the watch long, I was saying one of them got a yellow card, so I felt they needed to come off. It's Brown. So I was saying, bring Chio on. And then put Doughty over to the right, Bell higher up, and Anderson on. But instead, what we done, I didn't mind that either, to be fair. We still brung Chio on, but we put him as that right wing back. And we brung Chong on. And he was absolutely immense, mate. He was like the Burnley game when he come on. In that game, the Liverpool game, he was really good yet again. Causing havoc, really, let's be honest. And what woke us up was obviously, obviously, before I get onto that, actually, Morris come on as well a bit later on, which again I felt was probably needed. Give it a go. With his aerial presence that he can cause and that sort of thing. His impact was very good in the game before that, as we all know, against Sheffield United. So it made sense to bring him on. And obviously, the thing that woke us up was the goal that didn't stand. Now, for me, I say it all the time. I don't get this rule, right, where he's offside by his arm or flipping, whatever. Whatever that you can't score with. It doesn't make sense to me at all throughout any game. I'm pretty sure there was a goal like that in the Newcastle game the other day that Newcastle scored. Maybe it's offside by his arm or something. And I was like, come on, man, this is just ridiculous. Amount of times I see that is an absolute joke. If it's with your feet, your head, that you're slightly off, then fair enough. But they said Doughty was slightly off, which I just don't really get it. Because you can't, don't know what happened there. You can't score with your arm, But it did wake us up and, made us feel, right, we can go at Chelsea, which, I felt we could have, done that at the start, really. If we're doing it against better opposition, like I say, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, then, it's just disappointing in that first half. But what did you make of that goal that didn't stand?
Well, but just before that, obviously they went 3-0 up.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's probably their best.
Forget about that deliberately.
That was probably it. It's a simple move as well. Free kick from there, half of the pitch. Lokonga tried to win it, missed out. Menji was kind of in midfield, so he wasn't there. Palmer was running forward, and it was a good finish. From there, obviously, Kaminski tried to run out. And then, obviously, we scored 4 minutes later. It was tight offside, but it was offside. But it did kind of wake us up, and that was good to see, let's be honest. Because when it went 3-0, I thought this could be our first good idea of the season.
Yeah.
Proper good. But obviously, it wasn't to be, because we're still carrying that, and that's what we need to carry on. But yeah, it was slightly offside. But Elijah again, good finish. His confidence is sky high at the moment. So you've got to be starting. It's the first time we'd actually put a cross into the box that connected basically. But it's just a bit unlucky that it was offside. And I thought this just ain't going to be our day. It wasn't our day in the end. But from then, there was only one team in it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. Literally. I thought the same as you when we went 3-0 down. Obviously I was doing a watch along, but in my head I'm like, right, can this game just end? Because it's just going to end absolutely horribly if this continues. But I'll say we got that goal. It woke us up. Obviously it didn't count. But then, we were just going at him. We were going at him. Obviously, Barkley scored. And we had that feeling he'd score, being that it's against his former club, but not that type of goal. On me, anyway, I'll tell you that. I thought he'd score a banger outside the box. But great header, brilliant ball in from Doughty, who again provided a lot of good crosses. Obviously, the goal that didn't stand stupidly. Obviously, he got the assist for that as well. But yeah, great header by Ross Barkley. It's a sick goal. And I was thinking, do you know what? This could be a madness. And it nearly turned out to be, but what a header it was from him, wasn't it, though? And cross by Doughty.
Yeah, and we know Doughty's capable of that. So it's good. That's good to see, especially as he just missed out on an assist for the Elijah other goal. Just a quality header, just got his header on it, knew exactly where he was going to direct it. Keeper had no chance. I'm pleased he scored. Did say he would score as well against his former club. And then we thought, right, let's see what happens again. Yeah. And it was all us from then. But it was a brilliant finish, and I'm glad that he scored. And I'm hoping that we can keep hold of him,
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. To have a player of that experience, be absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, obviously we got the goal, like I say, and then 7 minutes later we scored again. We had a few chances before that as well. Elijah hit the crossbar. Oh my god, diving header! I thought that was in, mate. That'd been probably one of the other than Robin van Persie's in the Euros or the World Cup, whatever it was, that diving header, that'd have probably been one of the best ones I've seen. I know it's in the box, this one, but just the way, he's because he's had to slightly turn. Do you know what I mean? Oh, mate, it was so unlucky off the bar. I thought it was in. Obviously, if you was watching the watch long, you'd have known. I thought it was in. But unfortunately not. But obviously, he did get a goal, which again he deserved. That's his 5th Premier League goal now this season. So big up to him, man. He's scoring in a lot of these games at the moment, and he's being that aerial threat in the box. Again, a lot of people questioning him at the start of the season. Similar to was it last season? Yeah, last season where he had a bit of the drought, but he's really come alive now. And fair play to him, like I say, he's being that aerial threat in the box. And yeah, we was thinking, you know what, we might actually pull this off after that shocking first half. But what did you make of that second goal, Dad?
Well, I think Elijah's chance was just before that where he hit the crossbar. But this one was again free kick from Doughty, and it was actually Colton Morris with the diving header. Who hit the crossbar. Great run from like outside the box and stuff. And we was just on the front foot, and then obviously Elijah's goal was again, I think it's from the same moment. I think it might have been. Played it back in. Doughty had the shot. Keeper pulled off a fantastic save.
Yeah.
Or a bit later on, and then Elijah was there just to tap it in, basically. And then I thought, right, if we keep going like this, we're definitely going to get something from this game. We're just pummeling them.
Yeah, thanks. It was. It was good to see. It's good to see, but it's just a bit gutting because obviously we felt we could have done that from the get go.
The Doughty shot was from Chio crossing the ball into the box.
Yeah.
And then Elijah picked up the pieces, basically scored. And that's what I'm saying. His confidence is there, and he's in the right place at the right time.
Exactly that. And then the last talking point really is Woodrow coming on. And to be fair, I thought he was actually pretty decent when he come on. He tried to do a flick on out to I say a try. He actually worked. It actually worked out to Doughty, but he slightly messed up the touch, which was gutting. It was gutting. But again, played well. He got an assist in this game. Should have had 2 really, but overall thoughts on the game as a whole. Like I say, I thought, great to show that fight and show that we, not a walkover, but just I just was disappointed with that first half display. Personally, like I say, especially what we've seen against much better opposition. Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal. At home, I just felt Chelsea, it was a good opportunity to try and capitalise on them not being so great this season. And also, it's a bit annoying that we did concede 3 again. I thought if there was a time to not do it against them, it was now. But yeah, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's still one of them where you would have took a draw. Even though Chelsea ain't great. So at least there was that fight. It's just where we need to improve for me. And like I say, we'll get a bit more into that after we've done the reaction as a whole on this. But Dad, any final things you'd like to say before we get into the comments and the player ratings?
Yeah, I was pleased with the last 15 minutes out. And that shows that you are capable of competing. You putting them right under the cosh. Yeah, they haven't done so well this season, but they're still building. They've got some excellent players, and we were showing our quality and a little bit of class, to be honest with you. And we were quite unlucky. We hit the crossbar twice, and then there was that little back heel from Barkley as well.
Yeah.
We just a bit unlucky in the end. There was a moment as well where Chong crossed it into the box and Elijah didn't quite run onto it and things like that. But we've got certain players, and I keep saying it. I mean, if we can keep most of these players, I mean, we will anyway. But if we can, maybe extend Barkley, maybe possibly sign the Congo on a permanent contract or get a like for like. If we do go down, we'll we'll be in good stead for that championship. I'll tell you that. But hopefully, it don't get to that. I don't think it will. I think we're still in a good position to stay up. We've got a game in hand. We've got Burnley next. Again, we've got to get result, preferably a win, but we've got to get result there.
Yeah,
We've
no,
got
100%.
Sheffield United at home coming up as
Yeah,
well.
that's not too long away, actually. I was looking at the fixtures the other day, and it's actually not that long away, which is crazy. It's like I say, all these games, we've just played these teams, and we've literally got them all again soon. It's pretty crazy. Like, even Newcastle away, we've got them soon as well.
So, I was quite pleased with how we did perform, even though we lost, but we know why that was, kind of thing. So it was good that we come back. But, Cole Palmer is an excellent player.
Yeah, of course.
He's probably been their player of the season so far. And he'll hurt a lot of teams this season. So, it's quite, the Chelsea fans are, we just want to be away from that relegation. There's no way they're getting relegated. They've got too much quality in their team. Players that can hurt you. So we have got that, but we need to be switched on more defensively and that. And let's be honest, our defence is makeshift. We've had chops and changes. We've lost Lockyer. We've got Bell playing out position. We're not sold with Kabore playing in that position, and things like that. We've got interviews to Anderson, just come back from injury. Burke's out, even Potts. Yeah, people might say, but he's got that experience. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think we do need to sign a centre back.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I say, we'll get a bit into that. Let's go through the comments. A lot of people in here tonight, so big up to yourselves. Chris says, big up. I hope you're well. My condolences to you both. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that very much. Harry also says the same. Big up to yourself, mate. No worries that he was on the bog. I didn't quite need to know that, but it's all good, mate. It's all good. We're exactly, mate, as good as we can be. So big up to yourself. Could have got 3-3. Unlucky you had a great late comeback. Yeah. It's like I say, mate, it's just the first half that let us down. That's what it was. No worries. Sometimes, mate, I even struggle to get up for the 12:30 games, if I'm being honest. I feel like I have to eat way beforehand. And I was saying it to Hanno before we went on. I was saying I feel like I have to eat much earlier than I usually tend to eat, like lunch and that sort of thing. Kabore for that first goal, it was terrible. When you're seeing the highlights, I was thinking, what are you doing? Exactly. Literally, that's what I was saying on the watch along. What are you doing? Seriously, it weren't good enough. Big up to Geordie. Obviously, this is our first video of the new year as well. So obviously, I hope we'll see everyone had a good one, that sort of thing. Way the lads, happy new year, both of you. And same goes to you, mate, as well. It's mad Chelsea has spent all that money and they're only good players, pretty much Cole Palmer, Thiago Silva. A team as big as Chelsea are, some of those players even there. Yeah, like I say, Nkunku's good as well. Obviously he come on in the game. Give him time. I think you'll see that he's good. Well, I say give him time. The first couple of games he looked good anyway. He's come on in. Well, definitely the two previously leading up to our game. I thought Wolves he was the only positive. And I also thought the game after against Palace, he was very good. Us, he was involved in the third goal, I believe. So, they have got good players. It's just, I hear what you're saying, though. Thiago Silva is a wicked player, but still, was he 38? I say the other week, like their best defender. It is a little bit worrying. So yeah, John will tell you apart again. Yeah, no, he was wicked. Big up to Ravi in the chat. He says, big up, lads. Respect to question, what is the realistic prices Luton are able to spend on players in the windows? It's an interesting one with us because we're not going to, we're not one of these teams that are going to splash the cash. But at the same time, we are, at that stage where, if we do want to start, we'll have to spend a bit more than we have. Not a huge amount more than we have, but, a little bit more. It's just how we go about it, really, isn't it, though?
Yeah, I don't think it's all about spending money because I think that's people can't do that now anyway. It's going to stop because of FFP. So teams can't do it. It can't.
Sorry to cut you off quickly. Chris said about it in the comments. So I've just double checked. Nottingham Forest have got apparent FFP situation flying out today.
Well, I've heard about that, but we'll see. And that's what happens when you spend silly money. We're not going to do it. I mean, if you look at some of the players we have signed, you don't need to spend that much money all the time. You don't. Chio, how much was he? Undisclosed. Probably 2 million. Barkley, 0. Chong, 4 million. So you don't need Townsend, nothing. You don't need to. Menji, you don't need to. It's about making. We have targets and we set it up. We've got a good infrastructure in that respect. So we spend money. 5, 6 is, we won't be spending that in January. I'll be very surprised. We just need to sign probably a right back, because I don't know what's going to go on next. Kabore is not going to be involved potentially for the next month. So what's going to go on there? You're going to play Doughty there. It's going to be interesting that. But that is a position that we should be looking at, potentially someone who could play in that centre back or right back. I don't know. Maybe Burke will play there. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, I think we're doing all right anyway. Players are coming into their own. We have got Joe Taylor back, although I think he's probably going to get loaned out again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Done right at Colchester, but they're struggling. He's still got 12 goals or whatever for them. I don't know. I think potentially we might. It's just a space. It's just a space. Unless we get rid of players, then we ain't really going to be signing much anyway. The priority really is probably defender, because I think we're scoring enough goals.
Yeah,
we've scored.
The attack's doing a lot better than people would have thought.
It's the defensive lead that we need to work on. I mean, we've scored the same amount of goals as Man United, and they're they're in the top half of the table, so it can be done. And other teams haven't scored much more goals than us. They're doing all right. So defensively is where we need to have that cover for me. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But we won't be paying a big price. We're not going to be like, oh, we need to spend 15 million. We sign a striker for 15 million and he does nothing or he gets injured. You've just blown that money, really. For me.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You got to watch, right? I mean, I've heard Sheffield United are trying to sign Barrett and Diaz. Who else were they trying to? Firmino. So they're really trying to get in real quality. So it is really interesting. But that's just desperation for me. You know what I mean? Sign they're going to be on 60, 70, 80 grand. They're just joining you in January. You know what I mean? It needs to be they need to be with the club and want to be doing that. They can't just be there just on a wage packet kind of thing. And that's what we don't do. We don't just fly out like that. They've done that anyway when they signed Archer and Hamer. And it didn't help them initially. And it hasn't really helped them so far. It probably, they are good players, especially Hamer. But nah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Ravi says, smash the lights up, subscribe like Del Boy says, it makes sense. Big up to yourself. Big game against Burnley. Love Chong to be the difference. Yeah, no, 100%. Would be quality. Would be quality. Oh, big up to Chris. I knew he had a fight coming up. He won. 7th round stoppage. Nice one, mate. Nice one. Big up yourself as well, Jamie, for that. What has been good to see and show other fans is that Luton, for who they are, play a good standard of football and don't roll over for anyone. Yeah, exactly. And we knew as fans, games we have at home will be tight. And every game's still been tight. The only thing we are annoyed with, well, me personally, is that we haven't beat that so-called Big 16 yet. And the only one we've got is Man United. And like I say, you was flickering between Chelsea and United, who's the worst right now? So if we don't beat them, you know, I will be a bit gutted. I'm not going to lie, because we did, you know, we kept saying it. We will beat one of them.
We'll have to do it away. We'll have to beat one of them away. We'll have to. We're going to have to.
Yeah. We're going to have to, otherwise we look like fools. Yeah, no, I'd agree with this, Harry, definitely. Really could do 6 points against Burnley and at least Sheffield United, at least 4. Yeah, 100%. We need to sort of get revenge on Burnley in a way as well, because that game we had, the midweek game, that was shocking, man. That was absolutely shocking from us, you know, to concede it in the manner we did. That was not good enough, man. I felt sorry for Elijah and Chong in that game. I'll say Chong made a really good impact, so did Elijah. You can't switch any level. You can't switch off like that. But to do that in that game, especially when we were watching it, Dad, you know, we literally celebrating like, yes, come on, we're going to go on and win now. The way we put pressure on, the flipping don't even see the goal. They just cut out a replay. Boom, they've stuck it in the top right. You know, well, the player's top left, but Kaminsky's top right. So yeah. Chelsea owner as a joke. It's probably that person who fainted on the toilet roll in lockdown. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about this one. Chambers, obviously, he was at Arsenal. You know, on loan, maybe defender. I mean, he's got that experience. I don't think, you know, obviously it's on loan, like you say, but I don't think his wages, you know, because obviously we'd probably pay half, whatever. Wouldn't be too bad. I'm not too sure. I'm not really too sure. I don't think he's awful, but I don't know. I just feel maybe there's someone else. Like Tanganga, we've always been heavily rumoured with him, funny enough. Well, this season anyway, started the window and that. I'll take Tanganga because I've seen a lot of him. Chambers, I've seen bits of him, but I don't know. I think he does have them little moments. But then again, he'd do well for the experience side of things for us. What do you think, Dad?
We'll just have to wait and see. Like, I don't know. I don't know how many loans you can have and things like that. I wouldn't be surprised if we did get Tanganga, but I think you just don't know until you know. Really, been linked with him, but he hasn't played a lot of football, you know. But we got other players coming back, then he could be a good backup. I don't think it'd be permanent. We'll probably end up loaning him. Can't see us loaning 2 players really. I think there might be full-time signings that we were looking at and just missed out on in the summer that we could go back in for. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I trust the process.
Yeah, exactly. I'll say 9 times out of 10 we get it right. The only one I always say, the one that I think we didn't get right, and we will know this, you know, it was Joe Morrell. But other than that, it's spot on. You know, spot on really. The keeper situations we've had has been unlucky, if we're being honest, with the injuries and that. But I ain't been unlucky so far this season. Touch wood, it continues like that. Yeah, Sheffield United getting Brennan Diaz on loan from Villarreal. Kasper Schmeichel. Yeah, you said about that the other day, Kasper Schmeichel, didn't you, Dad, to me on privately? Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but like I say, it does seem a little bit, you know, desperate because they will have quite a bit of wages, you know, in that sense. But yeah, there we go with that. Yeah, Joe Taylor, obviously going back to that quickly. The main team I've seen him linked with out of the load, I saw Lincoln, I saw Bolton and someone else. But Bolton's the main one, ironically, because obviously we got them on Sunday, as we all know. But yeah, obviously, quite, you know, another reason why I do believe we'll loan him out as well is because like you said, Colchester, you know, he's still got a lot of goals for them considering the position they're in, and you know, even when he went out on loan originally, we were a bit sceptical in a way that he's gone to League Two because we feel, you know, if he can make an impact like he did in the playoff, you know, final at Wembley, all right, the goal didn't count, but he still took a penalty, scored it, you know, looked very confident when he come on in that game. We felt, you know, League One / Championship, you know, give him a run out there, see how he does. But yeah, I think he'll go Bolton. And also, he can't play for us in the cup because obviously he already has for Colchester. So it makes sense, you know. You're not really gonna throw him in on the Premier League on the bench, are you? Really, you know, if he's been out of League Two, which I feel he should have been higher. But that's what we're gonna do for me. You know, loan him out. I think he will go Bolton. And to be fair, I think that'd be pretty good if he does because Jerome's there, you know. So obviously, the link up there, the experience. Jerome's very experienced. All right, it doesn't start every game, but and then Mendes Gomez. I reckon them two. Imagine them two linking up. That'd be pretty solid, I reckon. And even then, they got what's that striker? Dion Charles. He's a good player as well, isn't he? So he'd do well with them, and they're high flying as well. So then we can see what he does. Because more pressure will be on because how well Bolton's doing. They want to keep that going. So it'd be interesting. And I reckon that's the one he should go to the most. So yeah, that is that. But yeah, moving on to the player ratings for Chelsea. Kaminsky, right. Like I say, none of the goals he could have done anything. The third one, I don't really put that down to him, overly. I just feel the defending could have been a bit better, to be honest. The way we got cut open just weren't great. And it wasn't obviously he did concede 3, but like I say, he couldn't really done anything about him. There wasn't on the top of my head, I can't really think of standout saves compared to previous games. But I'm not going to go too low, but I can't go too high because obviously we, like I say, he conceded 3. So I'm going to go with a 6.5 for Kaminsky.
Yeah, I agree. I don't remember him making potential. I think he might have made 1 save, or I'm not sure. But yeah, again, maybe could have done better on the second goal, possibly. But again, defending was quite poor. So 6.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then moving on to Menji. Obviously got a yellow card, but again, I can't really remember it. I thought he was one of the positives out of that centre back line in the game. I thought he was actually really good when Chelsea were putting the pressure. Well, not necessarily the pressure, but towards the end, when they were trying to get it out and get it up there, sort of thing. He was headering a lot of the balls away and defending really well. I felt. So out of that centre back line in that game, he was definitely the best one for me. So Menji, I'm gonna go with a 7, which might sound a bit high considering we conceded 3, but
no, I agree. I think he was probably the best defender out of the 3. Whatever. So yeah, 7. He's looking quite established, and I like him. So 7.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. It's going to be difficult to put him out of the team. Whether you put him on the right side of the centre back or the left. In my opinion, Jackie says Kaminsky 7 and Menji 7.5. Fair enough. And then moving on to Osho. I like Osho, but the last couple of games, me personally, I haven't been too convinced with him in the middle of the centre backs. I look at the third goal. I don't really know where he was, if I'm being honest. And I just feel he's better on when he plays on the left centre back or the right. The middle, like I say, Sheffield United, I thought he's a little bit sceptical as well. I know a few people like Stephen give him man of the match and that, but me personally, I'm not sure of him in the centre back role, like as in the middle of it. So for me in this game, I'm going to go over 6 for Osho.
No, I'll give him 6.5. I think he's still adjusting to it. I don't think he was terrible, but he's not used to play. He probably can play there if he beds in and that, but it's a big responsibility. That's Lockyer's position, isn't it? So whoever steps in there. But you're right, I feel like he's probably better. But maybe if Anderson, I've called for Anderson to start there, to be honest. And then Osho playing where Bell's playing. That's what I'd like to see, but I'm not going to be too harsh on him. I would do 6.5.
Yeah, fair enough. Jackie's also gone with the same as you. Moving on to Bell, again, no, he's not good enough there. Again, it comes back to, getting a centre back. Fair play to him. He's took over the armband. You have to, fair play. He's done a decent job. Thought Newcastle was very good in that game when he had the armband. But this game, like I say, his second goal, obviously, he was caught out. I'm going to go over 6 for Bell.
Yeah, I'll give 6. We know it's not, but he's the captain. He does try and run forward a few times that, which he was doing, especially in the second half and stuff like that. But we just know that that's not his position, and I'm quite surprised that we keep persisting with that, to be honest with you. But I get it. But then because you don't want to upset too many. It's the captaincy thing, I think, more than anything. But if Morris was starting instead of Elijah, then probably he'd be the captain. But we'll see. Listen, they're gonna have a rest, a lot of them this weekend, and then recharge, and we'll see. Maybe we'll have a couple of other defenders back, and then for me, if Burke's fit, Anderson's fit, then surely you've got to put them in there. And I could see potentially then Bell playing in Doughty's position and Doughty playing in Cabore's position.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, what did I give him? 6.5.
Yeah, you did. Jackie's on with 7 for Bell. Big up to Paul as well inside. He's already done Barclays rating. He's jumped ahead. We are going to go on to the wing backs. Kabore, let's say, first goal, what are you doing? I said it on the watch long. Second goal, he got caught out positioning, but not just him, like I say, but still, I haven't been impressed. It's been like 1 or 2, 3 good games. Liverpool game, the Man United away game, I thought he was okay, and Newcastle. To be fair, he was part of that defence that got a clean sheet, and he done a really good tackle on Gordon, but not consistent enough for me. He can have a few good games and then just not great. So, as for a rating for Kabore, he did come off at half time that I felt was needed, but it weren't good enough. It weren't good enough from him, so I'm going with a 4.
I'll give him a 5. Yeah, it was poor. Probably, like you say, he does have good games with it. Like you say, and other players might not be as good as they were in the other games, but they're not giving silly things away and tackles and things like that. I feel like Rob Edwards was protecting him a little bit, because he said that I took him off because I felt that we didn't need to have that defense or something. He said something along them lines. I was thinking, what you on about? With 2-0 down or whatever. Yeah, it went great from him. I'm hoping that he goes to the AFCON, plays really well, gets refreshed, gets his confidence back and that, and then comes back with more confidence. That's it. But yeah, 5.
Yeah, I'm just having a look. Their group, to be fair, other than I'll probably say Algeria, they could actually maybe go through. To be honest. So we'll see.
They've got a good record. So
the reason I say Algeria is because I'm pretty sure Mahrez still plays for them. Correct me if I'm wrong, if chat know, but they got him. Obviously, he's quality player, as we all know. So, other than that, I reckon they could maybe go through. I'm not going to sit here and say I watch the African international teams a lot, but I did watch the last AFCON, to be fair, and that was actually all right. The one where it was Egypt Senegal final. Ironically, Mane versus Salah, as we all know, but they can maybe get out of that group. To be honest, we will see. So wish him the best for that. And then moving on to the other side, obviously Doughty should have got 2 assists. Obviously the one didn't count, was a bit stupid for me, like I said. But the goal, the goal that obviously did stir, great cross into the box. He was causing a lot of a threat in that second half. Obviously, he was still on the left-hand side, even though Kabore come off. It wasn't one of them where he's moved over to the right, like you've seen in previous games. But yeah, it's really good. A few unlucky moments with his touch and that towards the end of the game, but I thought he was good in this game, Doughty. So for me, out of the defence as a whole in this game, he was probably the best one. So for me, I'm going to go with 7.5 for Doughty.
Yeah, I'll give him 7.5. Like, he was decent overall. And even when he was putting in poor crosses, you see he was getting frustrated, but he picked himself up. That's what I liked about him. And then he just started delivering. Close to being man of the match again for me. But 7.5.
Yeah, he was good. Jackie's come with an 8. And then moving on to the midfield. We'll start off with Lokonga. Obviously, it did come off. Obviously in the game, he come off towards the end, though. Obviously, it's right at the end. and Woodrow come on. And again, I thought he was decent in the game. He's having these performances where you're thinking, do you know what? Let's maybe try and get this guy. I've seen a lot of our fans say that. And to be fair, he has done well. I know I was a bit sceptical of him, at the start of the season because I wasn't convinced by his time on loan at Palace last year, but I knew he'd still do a job for us, because he has got that experience, and I know he wants to get in the Arsenal team, which will be difficult because the midfield is good, as we know, especially, you look at players like Rice, how much they've spent on him. You can't really just throw him out sort of thing. Obviously, they've got Odegaard as well and that sort of thing. So it is going to be difficult, but, whatever he does, if we can get him, that would be pretty sick. If he keeps playing like how he does. But, yeah, I thought he was decent in this game again. I'm going to go with I'll go over 7 for Lokonga.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7. The thing is as well, you can see he's proper working hard when other players ain't in the position to defend. He's there, like he's running back, he's trying to block the shots and things like that. He's been quite unlucky, really. But he's fighting, and yeah, I quite like him, to be fair. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, no, he was good again. Jackie's gone 7.5. And then moving on to Barkley. Obviously, Paul did his. I'll make sure I won't miss that out, by the way, mate. But yeah, Barkley, I thought he was really good again. Another really good performance in that CDM role. Obviously, got a goal. Done very well. Again, what we have seen, where he's on the ball and he's doing things, he's making things happen, doing them nice bits of movement, getting past the players, pinging the balls out wide to Doughty. He could be up there for man of the match, because obviously he was immense again in that position. He played the full 90 minutes as well. I believe he actually got it inside the stadium. I'm pretty sure I saw a picture of him with the man of the match thing. So it's fair enough. Very good performance again. Like I say, could be up there. So for me, I'm going to go with I'm going quite high with Barkley. I'm going to go over 8.
Yeah, I'm giving him an 8. He is my man of the match. Add that to your sheet.
Yeah.
Got the first goal back for us. Brilliant header and just confidence. He's confident anyway, but he's not afraid of playing them back heels or them, certain passes and things like that.
Yeah.
I think there was another pass actually when he was falling on the floor and he still managed to pass it through to Chong as well. And just generally, since he's been at the club, I do believe that he has gave the rest of the team that confidence. And like, just his hold up, play, just brilliant. Yeah, man, that match for me. 8.
Yeah, fair enough. I played the full 90 minutes again in that CDM role, so it's absolutely fair enough. Jackie's gone with a 9. Yeah, fair enough. Like I say, it was very good. 7 says Paul. That was his rating, by the way. Big up to Daniel, mate. Long time no speak. Big up to yourself, mate. Hope you're well. But yeah, moving on to the front three. We'll start off with Brown. Obviously he got that yellow card. So for me, I felt he had to come off, because, of getting that yellow card. I felt Chio was maybe going to start in this game. Obviously, I didn't say it, but I said I wouldn't be surprised if Rob Edwards did go with him, especially with, how Chelsea have been defensively. Chio is very fast, as we know. Bit off topic quickly, but I decided to play EAFC yesterday. I think his pace is like 91. I know he's one of the fastest players in the Prem, but I'm surprised they actually put one of our players with quite a high stat, if I'm being honest. But yeah, no, I thought, maybe he'd start in the game, but he come on as a right wing back. And to be honest, against Burnley, I wouldn't be mad if we done that again. Put him in that role to start off with. Obviously, Kore's going to be out, like we said. So, it could be good to do that, because like I say, the game I always mentioned was that France game, in the international break. He was very good in that position, considering he's up against Mbappe, 50-50, I'd say it was. In that one, and he's really good. A lot of crosses he was getting onto, and that sort of thing. So, a lot of crosses he was crossing in. Sorry, not getting onto. But yeah, he's really good. Taking on his man, doing that sort of thing again. So I wouldn't be mad if he started away at Burnley, to be honest. A few people might say Doughty ahead, but I would go Chio, I reckon, if I'm being honest. But we'll see. We'll see what goes on. You never know. One of these might even be thrown in on the weekend. You never know. Obviously, Doughty was in against Gillingham, so you never know. But yeah, I thought it was decent. So I'm going to go with a 7.5 for Chio.
Chio. So you've just gone from Brown to Chio.
Oh.
But that's fine. That's fine. That just shows you.
Brown, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
It's because I got carried away talking about Chio. But yeah, Brown, yeah, sorry. I'll say he weren't great. He weren't great in the game. The yellow card. He does work hard. I'll give him that. But like I say, just it's not like them few games where he was causing stuff up front. Having their moments. It's not really like that at the moment. But I probably still would go with him. In the next games, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to say I'm going to go with a 6.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6. I think he does try hard, obviously, and he does work hard, but sometimes his tackles are a bit to be desired because he's not really a defensive player. And once he gets a yellow card, then he's always at risk. It shuts his play down a little bit and things like that. So I can understand why he was taken off. He's done all right in general for us, let's be honest. But in this game, yeah, just a 6.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then moving on to Townsend. Obviously, I don't think he was quite effective in this game as we know he can be, but he was still decent. He's still going to be vital. Obviously, we'll get a bit more onto conversation about him later. But yeah, in this game, like I say, I've seen better of him since he's been at Luton, but I'm not going to go too low. I'm going to go with a 6.5.
Yeah, I'll give him 6.5, and obviously got substituted. But a lot of it was down to how we played in it. He was still chasing down and stuff, but it was just not as effective, like you say. 6.5.
Yeah, and then moving on to last player at the starting 11. It was obviously Elijah, got that goal, 5th Premier League goal of the season. I was just a bit gutted that we wasn't trying to play a bit more into him in the first half, but fair play to him, really good in that second half, in the box when he was getting them crosses in towards him. So for me, Elijah, I'm going to go with 8.
That's great. I'll give him a 7.5. Took his goal well. Unlucky with the header and the offside. Should have probably gotten to Chong's cross as well. But on another day, he could have had a hat trick, and that would have been brilliant. But yeah, it's a bit lower, 7.5. But he still gets the nod ahead of Morris potentially for me. Still, just because Morris definitely has come on and is causing a lot of. He's just seems to be really good when he comes on. So
he's fighting like Elijah and Brown were when they were on the bench.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jackie says 7 for Brown. Not sure if I read that out, so I'll just read it out just in case I didn't. Townsend 7, and then Elijah 8. And then moving on to the bench, like I say, obviously Chio and Chong come on at the same time. Do you know what? I'm probably going to give them a joint rating, to be honest, because like I say, at the same time, they're both really good. Well, actually, no, I'm not, because Chong is my man of the match, actually. I felt the impact he made was really, really good. You've seen it in games, like I say. The standout one's obviously Liverpool, but Burnley, even though we lost that, it wasn't down to the attack. Him and Elijah were immense when they come in that game. It was just the obviously switching off, which cost us. So we've seen that of him. I probably wouldn't start him in the next league game because, I just feel using more as an impact player. And hopefully he can have that difference and be the difference maker, like Harry said earlier. And then, I probably maybe would start him against Bolton, I'll be honest. Just to give him that confidence as well. And I see today him and Tim Krul obviously I released a few training pictures. Him and Tim Krul were in it. We know Krul's going to be in goal. It goes without saying. So I think it'd be good to start Chong in that game as well. I was having a little flick around on EAFC as well, played Bolton and thought, what would I go with line-up-wise? But yeah, Chong, he's my man of match. So for me, I'm going to go over 8.5. And then Chio, I'll say he's very good. So for me, I'm going with the 8 for Chio.
You've gone up. But I'm going to give them both 7.5 because they both come on. Chong looked more, he was playing like just running forward and stuff, but Chio was equally as good. They both come on and done exactly what they were supposed to do. So I'm going to give them both a 7.5. And it's good to see that Chong's not getting frustrated and that he's coming on and he's being part of the squad. That's what we're all about,
Yeah, exactly. Jackie says Chong 9. Fair enough. And then moving on to the next sub was obviously Morris. Like you say, he's coming on and he is, causing havoc really. The Sheffield United game obviously put pressure on them to score their own goals. Great, crossing into box first ones we know. But in this game, I think he was decent. Obviously not as effective as that, but he was still decent. Still pushing to get a start. But I just feel Elijah keeps scoring, so it's difficult at the moment, really, to put him out. The only thing I can maybe think is if Brown keeps having these, moments, then maybe you put Morris, the highest up, and then Elijah behind. As you know, he can play on that left. You look at the Burnley game, for example. But right now, I'd stick with it how it is. But Morris in this game thought he was quite effective, so I'm going to go with a 7.5 for Morris.
Yeah, I agree. Give him 7.5. Coming on and getting into the positions that we like to see him in, looking dangerous and nearly scored with a great header as well. Oh, that would have been a brilliant goal. So you can see that he's definitely he just needs to come on, get a couple of goals, and then maybe Robbins be like, do you know what? Like, let's bang 2 up front. But we'll see. But yeah, 7.5. Definitely.
Yeah, and then we could potentially go with like a Cam maybe. But that means more cover in midfield as well for me, because obviously Nakamba's out. And, if you could stick Ross Barkley as a Cam and then like bring Chong on, imagine that, and have 2 up front. If obviously Morris starts firing again, I don't think that's a bad shout. It's just a midfield thing, with that, with the depth and that sort of thing. But yeah, Jackie Tom 8.5 for Morris. That's fair enough. And then moving on to obviously the last substitution, we made 4 out of a possible 5 in this one. Woodrow, he come on in the 90th plus 4th minute. I thought he done well, in that little bit of time. Obviously a flick on, which we did manage to get onto, but not quite, do anything from it. But yeah, I thought he was okay, jumping up, trying to win headers. I would start him against Bolton, definitely. He started against Gillingham, and he obviously scored a very good goal in that game. I just feel, try and get his confidence up, really. If he scores against Bolton, then it'll be pretty good, in that sense. Obviously, he's highly rated at the club, as we all know, as a finisher, from a lot of people inside the club. Remember, Lockyer said it, Rob Edwards said it. So hopefully we do get to see that. So I think, as he goes on, I know he's been injured, but if he does come on and not a lot really happens, then I don't really like to say it because he is one of our own, but he might go. We have to be realistic now. So, yeah, I'd start him on against Bolton, but in this game, I thought he was decent. So I can't go too high though because it was a couple of minutes. So I'll go with a 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. Come on, it was a bit. It was good to see that we had 3 strikers on. We're going for it, and yeah, he's positive. He just come back from injury, and as you said, start against Bolton. And hopefully, if he stays fit, then he could come on and make some impact for us. So I want him to score in the Premier League. He's played in the Premier League before. A bit when he was a bit younger and stuff. But yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We want like a Norwich moment in the Premier League, essentially, with him. But yeah, that is all the player ratings. So as it stands, right, Dad, when it comes to the points for the players, Kaminsky's on 1. I'm surprised about that, if I'm being honest, but there we go. Barkley's on 3. Doughty's on 2. Lokonga's on 2, and Chong is on 1. So as it stands, Barkley is winning that. So we'll see how that goes as he continues to do that for the rest of the season. But yeah, that is that on the Chelsea game. Like I say, the poor first half display cost us, in the game. But it's good to see us, going at Chelsea, but just bit better in the first half, and we would have got something for sure. Whether that's a draw or a win. But Any final things you'd like to say on the Chelsea game, Dad, as a whole?
Nah, just keep, again, what I always say, keep them performances up, and we can't really complain, can we? But just got to cut out them mistakes, because there's been a few, they do cost you in this league, so just got to knock off. But I'm sure they'd be busy now, like in the transfer window, trying to rectify them it's just like tidying up a little bit, isn't it? And then just keep them performances going, but getting in the right players that are not going to disrupt that whole, pattern of things that we got going.
Yeah. Jackie said Woodrow 5. I'm not sure if I read that out again. Apologies. Memory is shocking today. But yeah, that is that with the Chelsea game. Moving on, we'll see two other bits we'll talk about before we wrap up. And the first one, a few people have commented about it already. Shay put Townsend. Jackie's put, hi, Ty Daz. Glad we signed Townsend on a long term. Yeah, that was the interesting bit for me. That it is on a long term. It doesn't specifically say, obviously, we do this, but I'll read what it says regarding it. So obviously, it's got the goal we scored against Newcastle as the picture. So it says Andros Townsend has signed a new long-term contract, which will keep the winger at Kenilworth Road for the foreseeable future. The Tottenham Academy graduate with 13 caps to his name originally signed a short-term deal in October, having not kicked a ball since March 2022, while on the books at Everton. Since his arrival, Townsend's influence has been impressive. He made his debut in October's 2-2 draw at Nottingham Forest, setting up the Hatters' first goal for Chio. Having worked his way into the starting 11, the attacker then netted his first goal for the club, the 1-0 winner over Newcastle in December. On his new deal, this is what Townsend said. Obviously, I'm delighted. 3 months ago, I thought my career was over. So from going to begging around the world just for a trial to being offered a longer contract is a dream come true. It's a special football club. I think we can really achieve something special this season. It's only halfway done. We've got 6 months, 19 games to pull off the unthinkable. Manager Rob Edwards, it's an amazing signing for us. Andros has come into the group with real humility and professionalism. He's shown the whole group what it means to be elite and a top-end pro. His fitness levels have been insane, and he's shown more and more his qualities with every game. For us to be able to tie him down to a longer-term contract is a credit to him. He's been through a tough time, and it says a lot about him as a person. I also think it says a lot about the ambitions of this football club that was signing people like Andros with his level and his quality. So it's a big signing for us. It absolutely is. Like I say, we knew we were going to extend this thing. The more I think about it, obviously, I am a little bit surprised it says long term. Obviously, again, we don't know how long it is specifically because they don't tell us, or tell us that straight away. But I also think he's done that because it goes back to what he said when he signed for us. It's local. It's quite easy for him. For his family, his kids, and that to settle in. Rob Edwards, I remember he was on I believe it's a podcast, and he said, Rob Edwards saved his career. By obviously signing him. So like I said, he tried to go to many places. Obviously, he may be going to go Burnley, but that didn't quite happen. And I'm very happy about it. It goes back to what I'm going to say in a minute. Our main priority is not the attack now because of that. And the strikers have done a lot better than a lot of people would have thought. I knew they'd have still done decent, but not as well as they've done. I'll be honest, I wouldn't expect Elijah to have more goals than Morris. And that sort of thing. But it's very good news, and I'm very happy about it. Of course, with his experience and his he knows what it's about already. The months he's been at Luton, you can see, that he knows what it's all about playing for this club. And when he says about necessarily, the unthinkable, I don't think he's necessarily saying it. I think he's more aiming at the neutrals. That wrote us off and that sort of thing. So I know a few people might look at that comment and go, what was he saying that for? But I think he's saying it more aiming it at other people and saying like, what are you saying now sort of thing. So yeah, I'm very happy about it. Dad, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'm pleased, and it's almost like not like I say a good because if we do go down, he's still going to be there long term. For me, he's probably at least 2 years. It's not going to be a year, is it? That's not long term for me. So I'd say at least 2 years. So whether he stay up or not, he's going to be with us, and that's excellent because he's got a lot of experience and it's kind of forward thinking, and then it'll be good for me if we can do that with Barkley as well. But I don't know because if he keeps playing like he does, he can play in the Premier League. There's not any squad. I think he's starting, but he can get in any squad. I believe that he's got that quality. The way he's been playing recently, anyway. But yeah, I'm really pleased. And it's up to levels, doesn't it? When you get into the Premier League, you can sign certain players that have been thrown by the wayside a little bit and things like that when they've proved themselves in the Premier League. So it's good. It's good recruitment.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then moving on to the last topic, linking with obviously the January window. It's now open. What is now our main priority to fill? Now, we touched on it earlier, and I agree with you, Dad. It is a centre back. You look at it, the amount of times he said, Bell's not centre back. You're seeing it in games. He's much better as a wing back. You also don't know what's going on with the Lockyer situation, and Potts. He's always injured. He's always injured. So, that's 3 players. Maybe 2, depending on the Lockyer thing. So for me, that is the main priority. Even Reece Burke. We love the guy, but he does get injured quite a lot. So for me, that is our main priority to fill. That centre back role. Even like we said earlier, if someone can play alongside or can do a centre back role and a right wing back role or play on that right side, that'd be even better. Because I'm not overly too convinced on Kabore as a whole. So yeah, centre back for me is the main priority. Also potentially maybe midfielder. Maybe, but not necessarily as much. The only reason I say that is, obviously touch wood, it doesn't happen. But say, Ross Barkley gets injured or Lokonga, we are a little bit screwed. In my opinion. But yeah, definitely it's a centre back's the main one. I think with Townsend, like I said earlier, with extending, I think now in that position we're okay, to be honest. Goalkeepers with Chilean, and it also comes back to what I say as well. I said it at the start of the season. I'd love to have an experienced player in every position. We've got that keeper, midfield, Lokonga now, Barkley, and up front talent. As an attacker, we've got that with Townsend. So it'd be good to have that as a centre back. As well. So yeah, that's what it is for me, Dad. Obviously, you touched a bit on it earlier. But...
Yeah, definitely a centre back. I think we might sign three players, but I'm not quite sure who's going to be. In that case, you'll have to loan players out or get rid of some players, and that might happen. Berry's not getting much football. I could see him being loaned out to make way for someone. Obviously, Lockyer is probably not going to play it again this season. So there's a space there. We definitely get a centre back. I can see us getting another midfielder potentially and a right back. But priority obviously is a centre back. And then Burke and Anderson are both going to be coming back this season. Anderson's already fit. Burke's probably not far behind. So I don't know. But I still think that we should sign one who's a bit more. I don't know. He can play in a couple of positions basically, and then I think potentially a midfielder and a right back, but we'll see.
Yeah, like I say, it'd be nice if we got someone that could play centre back and like right back. That'd be pretty sick. To be honest, but yeah, that is definitely our main priority for me. Like I say, there's 3 names there. The 2, because I don't really know about Lockyer's situation, but 2 others that we know it's obviously the Potts, Burke. Burke's obviously he's going to be massive for us, but he just gets injured a lot. That's the only problem. And Potts, I'll be honest. Obviously, he was meant to come back, then he had a setback. I don't know if he'll play this season. If I'm being honest, it'd been good to put him in a game like Bolton. It would have been. I know some people they might go, "What?" because I remember the game last year against Grimsby. He had a bit of a mare there, to be honest, at home, but it had just been good, for him to get back into the swing of things, really. And like you say, it does deserve a bit of credit. At least he scored one of the penalties in the final. And again, he has been on that journey with us, so you have to give him a bit of credit, but you have got to be realistic at the same time. And we know some of these players going forward are not quite the answer. So yeah, but that is that. Upon that, Dad, any final things about anything you'd like to say?
No, that's it. Let's look on forward to the a little bit of a break. Bolton game, as I said to you, could be expected, but I wouldn't be that disappointed if we priorities Premier League. Let's be honest. But I do want to see a performance because the last couple of cup performances have been awful, really.
Yeah.
But even Gillingham went superb. So we need to be. I just want to, these fringe players. It's their chance to try and say, "Come on, keep me at the club or whatever." But it'd be interesting to see who starts. But we'll know more obviously in a day or so. I just want to see a good performance because they are quite a good team, and we've done business with them, so we obviously recognise that as well. And it probably is a good chance that Joe Taylor will go there as well, try and win promotion to the Championship.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What was I going to say? Yeah, the Gillingham game. It's been a good game to watch as a neutral. I remember I actually predicted that. It's pretty nuts that I said 3-2 and it was. But yeah, obviously we'll do a hat show. I'm thinking of maybe doing it on Friday because I know the Luton team news usually comes out on a Friday. Even when we've done Sunday in the Premier League because it's just a protocol sort of thing that I think the managers have to do. So hopefully it's sort of the same because if it is, we'll do it on Friday. But if not, we'll do it on Saturday because I like to. Have the team news so I know who's going to. Obviously, we know we're going to rotate, but maybe Burke might come back or something like that. So we could put him in this sort of game. But yeah, like I say, it'll be Friday or Saturday regarding that, and then like I say, we will be going to the game, Dad. So there will be a match day vlog and that sort of thing. So it'd be good to be back at Kenilworth Road. Feels like flipping. It feels like ages for me. So I couldn't imagine what it feels like for you, Dad.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm being honest, but yeah, it's going to be good. Like I say, you're going to see the new stand. Obviously, I'm going to have a little look out for that other scoreboard on the right-hand side because I don't know if that was there against Gillingham. I can't remember. But yeah, that is that. Upon that, so big up to everyone that's tuned in. We are currently on 13 likes. So big up to yourselves. And yeah, obviously, smash a like if you haven't already. As for subscribers, I'll have a quick look now. We gained a new subscriber in this stream, so big up yourselves for that. Much appreciated. Obviously, do subscribe to the Extra channel if you haven't already. And I'm going to put a community post out tomorrow regarding the Extra channel. Something I'm thinking of adding to it going forward, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you will like it. You liked it when I've done it on this channel, but I'm thinking I want to predominantly do Luton stuff on here now, in Premier League or whatever league we're in, sort of thing. So yeah, I'm planning to do something on the other channel, so I'll put a bit more out about that tomorrow. But I did put my FA Cup predictions, bar the Luton game, on the community posts as well earlier today, so do check them out as well if you haven't already. Joys of doing the FA Cup third round. It does take you a while to work out your predictions and that sort of thing as well. But yeah, so obviously check them out, and then obviously subscribe to the Extra channel. There'll be clips over the next few days on there as well. So yeah, it's just something else I'm thinking of adding on there as well for this starting from this weekend, if I'm being honest. So yeah, like I say, smash a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, follow me across all my socials, subscribe to the other channel as well, turn on the notification bell for that. And yeah, in the next 2 days or 3 days, we'll be back again with another hat show. Like I say, I'm going to put something out on the community post tomorrow. Not too sure what time yet, but just keep having a look throughout the day. I'll probably try and get it out around about midday and see what you guys reckon. But yeah, till next time, take care and peace. Up the town.